So, yep, looks good. Welcome, welcome. How are y'all doing this morning? I'm mageius1, and this will be the ARMD route for Macross or the PS2. Wait, just double check the control scheme, make sure I've got that correct. Flight mode's on easy. That doesn't affect difficulty, that's more of just, well, I'll explain that in there. So, like before, this game is based off of the franchise Macross. Well, it's based off the show Super Dimension Fortress Macross. The game even wants to try to do the other story first, so I guess I'll get this started in 3, 2, 1. So anyway, this is the ARMD storyline. It's based off the movie, the first of the movies, since the franchise has been going on since the 80s. Anyway, we'll skip the beginning part, the cutscenes and all that. So anyway, the character we play as this time is a guy by the name of Eddie. We are part of the, I believe we're still part of Skull Squadron here. By the way, say hi to Roy Oker, Skull Leader, for those fans of both Macross and, Robotech. You know who Roy is, all that kind of stuff like that. Anyway, we are flying above Macross Island, which is down there, and it's based, and essentially, long story short, humanity was in a global war until one night where a giant space crash landed on Earth. Humanity, realized they're no longer the only, sentient species, the sentient life form in the galaxy. So pulled together, rebuilt it. Basically, the game starts 10 years later after that. And to start, I'm going to use the fighter mode here to get close to the enemies. And once we get close to them, we're going to start using our missiles. And because Guardian, which is a hybrid between fighter and Battloid, I'm calling it Guardian. I'm sorry, Macross purists, but trying to remember the exact pronunciation of the JP name for it is a pain, so bear with me for using that instead of the proper term. So we're going to use the fact that the developers gave us a lot of actual maneuverability, and we're going to fly backwards with the Guardian mode because, hey, we can. And it's very useful. And since there's no difference between Battloid and the Guardian, there's no difference in missile type between the fighter and Guardian. It's just smarter to use the Guardian mode so we can save, time by being able to fly backwards instead of the fighter not having the ability to. So I'll try not to make you all go crazy on that one with stuff like this, so we're just going to hang out here. Anyway, the game starts on the day that the SDF-1, aka the giant ship down there, is supposed to be relaunched after humanity rebuilds it. Our mech is known as a Valkyrie. It has the ability to do a combination of 3 different modes. Battloid, which is what I'm currently using now, the fighter, and the hybrid between the two. Anyway, it's best to use Battloid here because of the fact of, in an urban setting, we can't really use the we can't really use missiles as much. so it's faster to just use the combination of the machine gun plus the gun option we have to shoot down missiles in order to dish out more damage. Because although missiles are great, even though we don't have a limited supply, as much of a limited supply of them, it's just easier to take advantage of that when the enemies are on the ground, to be able to actually deal more damage without having to try to dodge everything. And in this case, we'll switch over to our heavy missiles. Switch back. Because the faster we get rid of the enemies here, the faster we can get done this mission. So we're taking care of that one. Anyway, the start of this part, we had to take out these enemies right here while defending the SDF-1. Now, the nicest thing is because we can fly backwards and have a lot of maneuverability in all of our modes, it's smarter to actually take advantage of that and use our missiles to where they can take, more advantage of, hitting multiple enemies. This route, which, as I said, is based off the movie, is more about, combat focused. There's some there are some actual, more maneuver tech, but it's more about taking care of the enemies, reacting to what they do. It's a very fun game. Yes, I'm playing this on an original version of the game on the PS2. Yep, so I got a JB PS2. Anyway, that's mission 1 done. We protected Macross Island. We did that stuff. The SDF-1 formed what's known as a hyperspace fold to help get away from the Zentradi, which were the aliens that attacked. It's basically their ship. They want it back. I'm not going to say yada yada, but we're going to do what we can do. Sorry, y'all. Between this one and my last one, helping out my significant other, because it's not feeling 100%, made her up a can of soup and ended up, nicking my thumb of my left hand, so it's being a little harder to actually use a control stick, so bear with me. Anyway, we've got to protect the SDF-1 here until it transforms. And the smartest way to do that is to stay as Guardian and basically stay close to the ship, attack where we can, stay away from the enemy. The reason why we want to stay away from the enemy is because we can fly backwards. The simple fact that we can keep up pressure on them while preventing them from attacking us is huge. Since most times the enemies will not change their pattern or start flying around until they get, to us. It makes it a lot easier to deal out a lot of more damage. Also, you may be wondering why I put the actual flight style on easy. This game focuses more on the actual flight side of the thing as far as controls go, giving a lot more mobility. However, it makes it so that with flight mode on normal, stuff like this, and a lot of things like that are possible, which does help, but at the same point, I've also learned, thanks to having a significant other, that does get a little queasy for some things, that it's worth giving up a little bit of the flight evasion, especially since I can do a lot of the stuff without it, to help you, the viewer, actually enjoy the run more. You gotta protect the SGF1. Here, so we're going to take out as many enemies as we can. You'll see me switching between the two modes a lot. This is namely because, honestly, don't have access to a proper true targeting system. Well, true lock-on style target, except in Battleoid, so having that ability like that means we can swap between stuff a lot easier, and it's a lot easier to keep track of where enemies are. So again, we're just making sure that we get rid of as many enemies as possible, make sure the ship does not get destroyed. Transformation's almost done. This stage, you could call it a bit of a glorified combat auto-scroller / escort style mission. And again, switch to that one so we can take advantage of the ability to lock on. 3, 2, 1 on that one. And we've managed to let them transform into their giant, to the giant version of themselves. Yes, even the ship has a giant mech version of itself. But anyway, from there, we're going to go to stage 3 on that one. Nicest thing is that we also unlocked the 1J, which is very, very, very good. Has more speed, has more maneuverability, and we're going to be using that for a little while. Now, mission 3, it's not 5 yet. This is more combat based on that one, so we're going to again turn into Guardian and basically fly backwards, using our missiles sparingly as well as strafing. Because we want to be agile and dodge as much as possible. Use battle to help with taking out some of the enemies that are coming up close. And as you can see, I want to conserve not only my rate of fire, but the ability to take out the enemy using every tool available to me, including the one thing that's meant to be used to help shoot down missiles, since it does help with dealing damage. That there. Put that there. Put that there. Yeah, this is legitimately going to be too annoying, so screw it. Even though I've got stuff slightly, helping out my significant other, this is, having a band-aid on is not going to help, so I'll just deal with it. As I said. Anyway, we've got to go inside the ship now to help defend you know, to help hit back borders. You know. Anyway, again, sadly we are locked out of using our missiles while inside, so it's just faster to use Battloid in here because the whole fact is that we don't really have access to the ability to really use the other pieces efficiently. So it's just easier to stay at either Battloid or switch to Fighter to get around, to avoid, to basically get to enemies as fast as possible. Come on, you. And at the same point, we want to be able to strafe, we want to be able to use that maneuverability as much as we can. I'll add that I showed earlier just the style of controls for it, the game, and I honestly have to say I wish I could use the D-pad for transformations instead of the shoulder buttons, but it is what it is. Come on. That there, that there. Okay, come on, you. I know you're around here. There you are. Said, want to make sure that we and hit the enemy as fast as possible, avoiding their rate of fire. Come on. Really should have switched over to my other controller because this one's X button really does not want to work as well as it should, with giving a little bit of a small delay, but that just shows how much I've practiced with it. Want to preserve my rate of fire there. And we successfully repelled all the enemies from inside the ship. So we're just going to hang out here until we get done. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, could have been better. You will notice that after the end of each mission, they require me to try to save. That's why one of the fastest speed tech is to also play without a memory card. This is also to prevent the chance of accidentally saving and losing time thanks to PlayStation, PS2 save, save, PlayStation 2, save time. Well, the amount of time it takes for us to save the game. Anyway, it's the fact of we're actually playing in a Valkyrie version of the Cat's Eye. So what we're going to do is we got to fly to targets. What we're first going to do is fly away from them. Turn. And use the fact that our missiles actually deal surrounding damage to enemies to help with taking them out, because we have no access to missiles except in the fighter and slash hex the arrow here. There it is. Anyway, we're going to fly to the next location, and once there, we're going to repeat the process. Now, you may wonder, Mage, why don't you just use all your missiles? That's maybe because we have a boss at the end of this, and since we're very limited on heavy missiles, it is a lot more advantageous to save as many as we can to help deal more damage on them, and since we can, again, want to do that there, and you can see how the actual explosion from the one missiles ends up taking out a lot more enemies than just what I targeted, thanks to the explosion radius of the missiles. It really does help on some chapters here and there. So we're flying to the next location. Thank you all for actually watching, tuning in, and enjoying the SGLive Marathon. Had some phenomenal runs today, not only for today, but throughout the marathon. Remember to also consider looking at the incentives for all the other runs and about not only donating for them, but also checking out, some of the other tournaments and help figure out, some of the tournaments that you might want to see, for next year. I'm a huge fan of, if I can think of a game, just dropping $1 or $2 down for that and just allowing, to just float the idea for something that might be fun. We got a lot of tournaments that way, and a lot of people are getting to have a lot of fun due to it. Now we're on the boss that's appeared. We want to quickly do that. Return, be able to get them as close as possible. Want to use full actual bursts on them and use our strafing to help deal out more damage. Usually, depending on the amount of damage we need to do, it's sometimes faster to fire one missile at a time, and sometimes it's faster to fire a whole actual cluster of missiles. You want to strafe here and there. Avoid that. Ideally, we want to get close enough to the actual enemy ship here, so that way we can just constantly strafe around them while holding in our one button for the for our ability to shoot down missiles, while adjusting our rate of fire with our rifle. As I said, we want to be able to do that with maximizing our damage output. And there we go for that one there. Wow, that was close on that one. But hopefully, we did survive. This mission is basically impossible to get an S rank on during the main story. Playing it during the storyline requires, faster and more missiles on that one. Yeah, that's from just taking a lot of damage, but we take that. We take it. We take those. Anyway, mission 5. We get to head into an enemy craft. The ship stumbled across it. They think it's derelict, so we're sent in to go explore, get to the bridge computer and check for things. Eddie here said, I'm going by what I could find info-wise on it. I might be wrong on that one. But when I was learning the game, found an old guide that gave some information on the stuff, so I was able to adapt it from there, and improve. Anyway, we're going to be using the Guardian here, following these little blue lights, because that indicates the proper way to go for the most part. Want to stay on the ground and keep boosting. I'll keep our pedal to the metal, making sure to not screw up. Want to keep turning this way. I were to go this way, because it does actually get to be a little confusing, or at least it tries to. But we're almost there. Let's strafe a little bit. Now, fun fact, the reason why the game devs gave a lot of different camera angles, for the run, we won't be, to play with, we're not going to be using any of them, because not only do they change, which way you're going, how you look, you know, which way you're looking, your orientation, you really don't get any benefit to that. And now that we've got that, and we've realized, oh no, this ship is not as derelict as it looks, we gotta get the hell out of Dodge, basically. And because you may wonder, Mage, why are you taking out these enemies? That's because we are prevented from leaving each chamber until we do. So it's fast. So although we can use missiles on that one, it is easier to take them out with the guns, so that way we can avoid the so that way we can avoid. So that way we can be a bit more maneuverable. Quickly change targets again. Boost here and there. Notice down at the bottom that I'm limited on the boost when in Battleoid. So I've got to use that sparingly. I've got to adjust where I need to go. Quick turns there. Using strength to actually go left and right. Avoid the guns there. Almost out. As I said, it's easier to take out enemies with Battleoid, because trying to line up for missiles inside a confined space is a little hard. Especially when you're trying to avoid taking damage on that one, plus also locking on to enemies. As I said, we really don't have a proper lock-on except in Battleoid. Which is understandable, since they were trying to replicate the fact of how it would appear, you know, in fighter, well, in an actual, their take on the actual fighter version of how they think it would appear control-wise. Turn like that, so that way we have that there. Try not to hit the wall. Sorry, y'all. Again, we want to fly out, and we're solid there. So what happened there was they activated, I think they activated the self-destruct. The self-destruct option on that one, but anyway, we had to get through there. And now we're on Mission 6, which is... This is when we're introduced to using the Battleoid in its super mode, giving us extra missiles, but we can't transform into anything other than that, so it is a bit of a pain. I want to quickly change to use the actual gun, the head gun. Would it be a Vulcan gun? I don't know if it would be the term from the from Gundam or not, but essentially we're using that to help with actually dealing out more damage. Because we can't transform, it's we are given access to our missiles while in this form of Battleoid. It's just a pain, except when they are far away, because we're also limited on how long we can be in the air, so we want to essentially use a combination of boosting, but boosting almost like we are jumping. So you'll see me not only switch between the enemies, but also regularly using my boost in a way to avoid running out of space, well, not space, running out of it, so I can maintain damage output. Again, we want to do that there. Now, I'm saving my heavier missiles because there is a part 2 to this where we're going to have to take out some more beefier enemy ships to help defend the Macross here. I believe we're on Mars right now, if I'm remembering correctly. So we're going to use those, take them out fast. I'm just going to hold out a bit, do some acrobatic stuff. If I get a minute, I'll show you the different camera angles and why we do not use them. I'll also use the fact of, even though we don't have the HUD up, we can still change weapons. So now it's going to show us the second that there's more enemies incoming. This is another reason why I saved the heavy missiles. But as you can see, just quick, change how they, how the game, changes different angles and how it can adjust things. We want to launch full volleys at them when possible. As it not only deals more damage, but we want to do a hybrid strategy of letting our normal missiles, being able to launch full volleys of our normal missiles, and then combine that with our heavy missiles. On top of that, using our guns as well. So essentially, a combination of using like all the face buttons on a PS2 controller. Want to hover towards you. Launch some missiles at you. Dodge like this again. That there, let's recharge a little. As you can see, the ability to actually take out the enemy ship, the enemies faster with a combination of our missiles. Switching back and forth between the two is very good for damage output. And of course, hovering here and there so that I can take out as fast as anything. Now the one nice thing is individual missiles are good for dealing a decent amount of damage on some of the weaker enemies, and rapid fire does deal damage, but depending on the enemy's armor strength, it is a lot better to actually use full volleys to be able to take out, in order to actually deal more damage. Because remember what I said about explosion damage? That does add up. Come on. We're taking care of that. And we've defended the Macross from that one. So it could resupply all of that. So we're just chilling, grilling, grilling, I think is the old adage. It's hard to remember that stuff. Ooh, that's rank. Nice. Anyway, we'll skip that there. We've now earned the Valkyrie 1S, one of the best ships out there. Anyway, we're going to go take out the enemy craft here. Story-wise, we finally made it back to Earth. essentially, Roy has passed away. We have been promoted to command of Apollo Squadron, and so we're going to be dodging enemies here, taking out them as much as we can. We want to basically make sure to switch to Guardian. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Oh. But essentially, we're going to rapid fire our missiles to take out as fast as possible before they get to us, so we can minimize having to deal with combat as much as possible. And for those that do escape, we want to use Battleoid to quickly take them out. We want to switch to fighter, so that way we can get as close as possible to some degree until we can quickly lock on. Then just quickly turn, dodge. Use a combination of our Vulcan and the and our regular gun to help deal more damage again. We want to try to preserve health because we have not only a boss in this stage, but we have two of them. So we want to preserve our health because although we will get some back, we don't get a full refill unless we maintain our health to some degree. So we're saving the heavy missiles for the first and second boss. Quickly dodge there. Try to get some full salvos in while avoiding them, while avoiding their missiles that they fire as well. We want to try to manipulate where they're going with their movements by using both full volleys and one-offs, so that they'll try to avoid some. Want to quickly shoot down some of their missiles here and there. Strafe some. Quickly turn the Battleoid so we can quickly deal out some more damage. Some heavy missiles. Quickly pursue. Quick dodge on some of the stuff and avoid their missiles. Again, try to shoot down some of their missiles. Quickly turn so we can avoid them again. Again, quickly deal out enough damage on that one. And sorry if I'm being quiet in here for a little bit. It's just trying to make sure that I get rid of, I preserve my health here. As I said, although I'm going to get a refill before this, for the next part, it is faster to, it is a bit more comforting to make sure I've got enough health for the next part. I should have enough, and luckily the next part is treated as a checkpoint once I get done the boss here. some of the enemy missiles. Quickly do some strafing here. Do some more strafing. Quickly turn. Use our regular missiles to help dish out some more damage quick. Again, use Battleoid to help with retargeting. Use a combination of both the ability to shoot down missiles and to take advantage of our guns at the same point. So we're taking care of everything of that one. And now we have to take out an enemy ship, or what you could call the Death Star boss, because we have to take out an exhaust port, in a sense. And hopefully you're all enjoying, you know, SpeedGaming Live and everything else. I know I've enjoyed the being able to play in the tournaments. As you can see, I got some health back, but you know, it's not a full refill. So that's one of the reasons why I tried to preserve my health in the first part alongside my missiles. Quickly turn, so I will automatically target a different enemy ship. Well, different enemy. It's not the fighter pods. They're not battle pods. Luckily, as I said, this part, after beating the first boss, it's considered to have a checkpoint. And you can start to see why I tend to use the fact that the Guardian Ode can actually fly backwards to help with avoiding combat. So worst case, you know, I'll have to take the but we're on to the boss fight itself. This is what I call the Death Star boss, because we have to take out a little exhaust port. So we want to fly up, so that way we are on par with the boss. Want to fly close, but enough that we can avoid them. And again, switch between the two. And also use Guardian's ability to hover. Set, even if the nicest thing is that even with this, we still get a checkpoint there. And yes, it's annoying that I have to take the reset for this part here. It happens every now and then because combat. But again, it does happen every now and then. So we want to fly towards the next set, maintaining the ability to, as soon as we get in range to start dishing out damage, we want to start doing that. Nicest thing is that it also gives us a full refill on missiles. The only drawback is that we cannot get it. We automatically are dropped a single rank, but again, it happens. So now and you want to fly up, start getting ready for the Death Star boss. Again, exhaust port. Want to fly up. Use the first, ability to hover and go up a bit. Want to make sure we align ourselves up. Dodge some of the missiles. Try not to let that happen. Do some strafing. Keep up a good rate of fire on it. Use our full volleys. And we've taken out the ship there. Now then, just got to do some cleanup here and there. But we've gotten rid of the we've protected the SGF1. The nice thing is about this, as I said before, music has helped, prevent them from, prevent the Centrati from thinking that all there is war, and we're already on the final mission. So, gonna have some fun here. We get to use, for the only time in the run, the actual VF1S strike. Basically, it gives us some lasers, gives us some extra cool stuff, gives us, ability for like some super bombs. I guess we call them super bombs. They're basically insanely good missiles. So we're going to first things first, take out the entire group of enemies here in order to help spawn the next set, which are those. Then we're going to quickly switch over to our actual lasers. Use that to help take out the quickly switch Battleoid, because they only take a single shot to take out. It's a lot easier to just swap out while flying to switch to them, to use Battleoid to help take them out. Although we can use any of the actual modes to use it, it's a lot more convenient to use Battleoid because you can target them. Using Guardian here and there to help with avoiding things. Okay, enemies. Gotta make sure I use the correct enemies for the lasers. Ah, there they are. I want to make sure that I make every shot count for this, because it makes it a lot easier, as we will be getting a full refill before the second part of the mission. So, at least on health. So being able, sorry, not health, ammo. Are you? Looks like I took all those out. Oops. Got to switch over. Use fighter, quickly deal out some damage there. Avoid the enemy missiles, coming clutch. So we can take out this. Accelerate straight towards the last enemy for this section. Take them out, and we're on to the second part of the mission. So, gonna have some fun here. Gonna have some real fun. As I said, hopefully you're all having fun today. And the one nice thing is we get some nice, chill, anime, music on this one. After all, the series is known for its music. Now, since we can use the our full super missiles, or what do you call them, bombs? I'm not sure on that one. What you would truly want to best describe it as. Essentially, we want to just use that to take out as many enemies as we can until the one enemy ship we have to get rid of shows up. Anyway, positive thing, they've managed to establish some form of peace with this Entrati present. We want to use that giant explosion to help with getting rid of a lot of enemies, as you can see. And that's the one thing that, as I said earlier, we would be using for some parts in the run. This is the other major part where we will do that. Now then, want to get through, turn this way, swap over, use that there, take out as many things as we can, make sure we don't take damage from our own. This we will take a bit there. Oh well, it happens. So now that the enemy ship disappeared that we need to take out, we're going to go head over there and do that. Then we'll be headed towards the final boss after this. Keep boosting. Wanna avoid their lasers. I'll avoid their fire. Launch the first of the couple of missiles we need. Because we'll still have a bit of cleanup once it's gotten rid of. So boost away as fast as possible. Get rid of that. Again, boost away. Take out some missiles there. Mission update is basically get rid of everything that's remaining. Which means we can use the super bombs / missiles at will. I call them that. I guess you could call them super missiles because they're stronger than our heavy missiles. You want to avoid damage here and there. Use them with great effect to get rid of large chunks of the enemy. we got there. And now there's only like 2 left. Use full salvos on it. Launch a massive thing there. Thought I was away from that. Oh well. Should have enough for the final boss. And if not, it counts as a checkpoint. Even still. As I said, this one's the harder route, and normally I'd have a death or 2, but yeah, it happens every now and then. Anyway, we'll be heading inside to take out the boss on this route, which I'd make it's a giant head in the jar that doesn't like moe joke, but and I will, but it depends on whether or not you want to agree to it or not. But during all this, you get to hear Min-Mei sing on that one, which is what it's representing, that one, because of the fact of it's meant to be the fact that the way the Zentradi were given some of the stuff, well, the way that they stopped being warlike was thanks to things like music and other stuff. So, unskippable cutscene here, you know, SGF1 and Zentradi that are still, you know, understand that and want to go for more peace, for a more peaceful solution, are trying to stop the enemy, you know, stop the force on that one and help. This is where you can see Eddie going in, like, you know, saluting, like going in. I may not be able to understand Japanese, but I think Lisa here is saying like enemies in front of you. And this part, tone of voice to me says, "Good luck, come back safe." The first movie is subtitle is "Do You Remember Love?" So I can only assume that that's, you know, I can only assume on that one. But anyway, we're going into the boss. It's approaching. And as I said, it's hard to tell on that one. You know, joke about not liking moe, not liking music. Anyway, so we're going to start by immediately switching to our lasers. Immediately, quickly targeting and switching the targets on that one between those. Get rid of the outer shell so we can actually damage it. Avoid that. Target, launch out all the remaining ones. Then start avoiding the missiles. And start using our heavy missiles to just basically strafe around and launch some full volleys. Playing it safe to actually make sure we avoid damage by just launching full volleys at them, you know, dealing as much damage as possible. Because we're strafing, it's a lot easier to avoid the enemy's fire on that one. And the closer we get, the more different fire, the more different types of things they will use to deal damage to us. So we're going to basically dodge everything on that one and fire the last few missiles there so we can finish them off. And that's time in the run. So we're going to be doing that. And it's really easy to pick up and learn. It's based off of in-game time. You know, you can see it's real quick, it's real fun, and it's real easy to learn. And I'm personally happy that they, finally were able to get, both Macross and Robotech, since this is one of the things that was based off of, to finally, shake hands and finally not, I won't say bits, but that kind of stuff earlier in the year after 35 years. I'll add that with the game as a whole, it is fun. Again, I'm happy I got to show this off. I'm also happy I got to, I also highly recommend fans check out the marathon and definitely consider donating to help with deciding next year's tournaments. I mean, 50 cents, $1, just name a game you kind of want to see. That's what I tend to do on that one. SC, not good, not bad. But you see them saying that unlocked stuff. And give me a second, folks, because in-game, since it's since the timing is in-game time, just the quickest thing is to just run through the records and just make sure to count the difference in a death. But not bad overall. Solid run. It's very good to see. Oh, whoops. Can you hear me now? Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Thought I didn't have it muted. Let's make sure I'm showing that you can at least see me on that end. Oh. There we go. Sorry. And I know game audio on that one just gets the credits on that. So, as I said, thank you all for watching. It's always a pleasure for me to showcase it. One of these runs, and again, thank you for SpeedGaming to let me show this off. It's a very fun, very entertaining run. And again, I highly recommend checking out all the other tournaments, the remainder of the marathon, everything, because it's all fun. And I highly recommend checking, even considering, thinking about, games that you might want to see for next year's tournaments. And I will probably take like $20 and just throw out 10, just 10 different games on that one. And yes, SpeedGaming, you can be annoyed that I'll probably do that, but at the same point, it gives options, and I think that's one thing fans do enjoy. But I guess if that's everything that they need, if they want to pull in the next runner, I'm good whenever they need to. But I'm so glad they got to have fun, and so glad to showcase everything. So whenever they let me know, I'll pass along stuff. But it's a very good run. And as I said, very easy to learn, very easy to play, and we've got an actual Discord for the Macross and Robotech speedrun communities. There's not many of us, but we do enjoy the games, and just check out speedrun.com on that one, and you'll find it. I've got links on that one, and again, thank you, SpeedGaming. Thank you for letting me showcase a fun and entertaining run to you all.